Hello there, this is the guy that's supposed to go out but couldn't because his car broke down, and welcome to this AFK journey video. So my car didn't actually broke down, more like the aircon wasn't working properly and it was super duper hot. It was like blowing hot air, so I was like, screw this, I'm not going out because my car is super duper hot. I couldn't drive without the aircon on. So I'm here with the third video for today. So this video, right, was actually, I'll say, like an idea which I originally wanted to post previously, but I realized that Honor Duel wasn't really popular on the channel, so I decided to drop the idea. But recently, because Honor Duel actually got a new like facelift in terms of the meta, they removed some units and introduced some of the newer ones, and then they buff and nerf a few others. So I decided to give this run a try and then try out the Mauler build which I wanted to feature today. I think one of the biggest issue that Maulers actually got hit really hard for this patch is that they lost Shakir. I think Shakir was a super duper powerful unit in Mauler's faction, and the removal of Shakir made everything super duper hard. So I'm going to show you guys like the few tries I had to get here. You guys can see for yourself, right? So I've been experimenting with this build since about 4+, and if I don't get the Mauler stuff, right, I'll just forfeit the match. And like even if I did get the Mauler stuff, like I wasn't doing very well because like I was getting decimated by like all the light bearers. Even Griffbone was decimating me, and I was trying to figure out the build order for this team. And here we have it, the Seth Super Saiyan team, and the artifact of choice is Flame Orb, because I think right now the Mauler's own inbound artifact is pretty good. But the thing is, like, there's not a lot of insta killing going on right now. Like there's a lot of sustain and there's a lot of counter killing from sustain based on what I observe in the Honor Duel meta right now. So Flame Orb being able to bring down weakest enemy as fast as possible is one thing that make it really good. At the same time, because we're running Seth, where Seth wants to snipe people off as fast as possible, so this additional ability to snipe off weak targets is definitely invaluable for Seth related builds. So the team of choice is a full Mauler team. I actually pivoted the build a little bit. I started off with a Vala, and then I built Vala all the way to the red tier, and then later on I sold Vala because I had the Lumon built up eventually, right? And the reason why I built Vala was because I wanted to do this double assassin strat. So I was running 4 Mauler and then 1 assassin to activate the Flame Orb more effectively, because Seth will go after the weakest target, and then Flame Orb will also go after the weakest target, and then we can prioritize the weakest target with Vala aiming down on the unit I want. So that was the pivoting. But later on I switched to the full Mauler because I think full Mauler stats is just very good, and full Mauler right now might not be as good as it used to be in a sense because you lost Shakir. But we got a new addition in the form of Coco. So I think Coco is actually way more impactful in terms of keeping the whole team alive. The idea previously for this Seth Super Saiyan build was that you just make Seth really good, and then Shakir face rush, and then Seth and Shakir will just wreck the front line. But right now, because we lost the Shakir backup, we have to build more sustain in our team, and then we have to have a little bit of control. So the control comes in the form of Brutus, in the form of Lumon, as well as Anthendra. So Anthendra can shield the frontmost unit, and luckily for us, we managed to get the second line, which buffed the frontmost allied hero attack by 30%. So I can put Shakir in the front line, and then Anthendra can actually shield him up and then keep him protected. If I do get her her mythic tier EX weapon skill. So right now it's still unlocked, but ideally you want this at mythic plus. I think Lumon will be good at mythic plus as well for the additional control, but Lumon is, I'll say, not the most important part. I think Coco is very important. You need Coco with Gaze of Power to immediately get her ultimate off for the instant damage reduction and then conversion into shield. And then you also need Brutus for a little bit of taunt and then additional damage, because without Shakir, you are only relying on Seth as the main source of damage. So Brutus will be your like secondary source of damage in the place of Shakir. A lot weaker, but I think it's still serviceable because Brutus is still an AoE damage dealer, so still pretty good there. And for the equipments, right? Okay, so there's a little bit of hiccup in a sense. This build is really hard to achieve. Personally, I think ideally I want the Arbiter's Blade on Seth, and then I want the Arbiter's Blade partner, which is Arbiter's Armor, on either a Brutus or Lumon, right? So this is a set equipment where Arbiter's Blade increases carrier's damage dealt by 20%. If an ally hero is equipped with Arbiter's Armor, which is the other item for the set, it also increases the damage further by 20% and also allows the carrier's attack to heal the ally hero and restore their HP. So the other item, right, the armor will provide control immunity to the holder of Arbiter's Blade. And control immunity is super important for Seth because Seth is super duper weak to control. Seth can just jump around, but if he gets controlled, he's gonna die pretty easily. So ideally, we want Arbiter's Blade, but unfortunately, I didn't get Arbiter's Blade, so I settled for Grandmaster Crown to just increase the stats of my team. I still have 2 more tickets left, so later on, if I do get the duplicates for Entendra and Lumon, I will get them, and then I will try to get Arbiter's Armor, right, to fulfill this Arbiter's Blade set. So without further ado, let's start this match and then showcase the power of this team. So I decided to run the Mauler strat because Mauler used to be one of my favorite team composition out there. In fact, it's still one of my favorite because I like to see Seth and Shakir just running around and killing people. But unfortunately, they are really not very good. Like right now, I think the loss of Shakir is a really big hit. Like based on my experience earlier, like it's so hard without Shakir. Like it used to be, I'll say, like, I mean, Mauler as a unit, right, or Mauler as a faction in Honor Duel is not very strong in the first place, but the loss of Shakir just make everything so much harder. Okay, so over here I'll go at one time. Okay, oh shit, I forgot to account for Sylvina sniping by backline. Okay, at least Coco got the ultimate off. So this way, once Coco ultimate goes off, right, most of my units are not dying, and then Fireball and Seth together will be able to at least snipe off one target. I think something is holding my Seth back, right, because Seth should be targeting. Okay, so Seth is starting to build up the stacks already pretty good. So Seth will get bigger and bigger after killing each enemy. Okay, so now, okay, Coco's second ultimate coming in really nice. So once Coco goes into the second ultimate, there's a very high chance you just win the battle from there. I think Mauler right now, we did lost Shakir, but if you get Coco plus Gaze of Power, you actually have a really solid team comp where it's quite stable because Mauler was lacking a lot in sustain, and I think Coco with Gaze of Power with the immediate shielding effect is the sustain that you need for the Mauler. So pretty easy here. Right, so let's search for the missing pieces. So in case you guys are wondering which one I'm talking about, Gaze of Power is this one. So this one just allows your unit to cast ultimate without costing energy. And for Coco's case, she's not really a damage dealer, so the damage reduction is not big for her. So this is a very cheap and effective item for her. And let's see whether or not we can find the armor or the equipment. Okay, this one is also really good for Seth if you guys want Violet Horn, Life Drain and Attack, but I think Control Immunity is way better for Seth. Yeah, because Seth is just really frail and he dies really easily. So we got Lumon up. Let's see whether or not we get the armor first or Entendra first. Okay, we do have an Entendra here, but if we go this, we might not get the armor. Okay, do I want the armor or do I want Entendra? Okay, I'll lock Entendra first and see whether or not I can get the armor in the next 30 rolls. Of Cemetery. Yeah, okay, the thing about this Arbiter Blade combo is that sometimes, right, you just get one set and you don't get the other one and then you're screwed from there. So we have... Okay, we're not getting the Arbiter Blade combo, but it's fine. It's fine. We'll just go with Entendra maxed out since we already have the Grandmaster Crown. So this is just a little bit of pivoting for the team. Just gonna equip this on this. Unfortunately, Arbiter's Blade without the Arbiter's Armor, right, is quite bad. If that's the case, right? Yeah, if that's the case, I'll just use the base Cold Dagger. Yeah, the base Cold Dagger is actually more damage. This is the problem with this combo item, because if you get one and you don't get the other one, it's really bad. But it's fine. So let's go with this one. We got all units at our dear Mythic. So we have 2 of the Grandmaster Crown, which will give a lot of stats for the team. This is the final build, but I think the build up is quite straightforward in a sense. You need Coco, with the Gaze of Power, and you need to build up Seth, and then you need to build up one of your frontliners to tank up for Seth. Hopefully you get the taunt item, right? Cleric's Vestment. So this one is to provide for taunt for more protection on Seth, because you want the enemies to not hit Seth. Okay, so last match, let's showcase the last battle. I think this one will be good because it's the last battle. So right now, right, the bracket is super duper sweaty. Oh shit. Oh my god, it's Wilders for sure. It's Wilders for sure. But the reduced damage is something that I don't want. But it's fine. It's fine. I think we can do this. I think Coco does provide quite a bit of sustain for us, so it should be good. I'm gonna put Seth over here. This will make Seth the frontmost unit, I guess. I think. Right, so we put Seth over here. It will be better if Seth has control immunity, but it's fine. Let's start the battle. Okay, so we spread out our units because we don't want to be rooted by Danny in case the enemy is running Danny. I'll let the battle run at one time and then you guys see the power. Okay, so Coco activates the ultimate immediately. Very, very good damage reduction. Okay, so you guys see the burst from the Parisa is not dealing a lot, but it's also because there's some damage reduction from the illusion sensor over here. Yeah, but unfortunately that is something which I really hate to see, because Danny being able to root up on the Seth, right, is so bad because Seth is not doing anything. Yeah, you guys can see Seth hates control. That's why I really wanted Arbiter Blade to go through, but unfortunately we didn't get the armor. But I think it's still fine because Seth has lifesteal there. Right, Seth has a little bit of life drain, and I think supported by Coco shielding, it should be fine. Yeah, this has got to be one of the worst matchups. The controls, the lack of damage, so bad. Okay, I think if once we kill the Arden, we should be able to win from there. Okay, our dear Lumon is doing job. He's taunting all the enemies in the middle and controlling them. And then once we start killing people, the Flame Ops last ability, shoot extra 4 fireball, is activated, and we started to win the match from there. Okay, really good there. So we're left with Granny. There's no way the Granny can survive the barrages. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this Super Saiyan Seth build. Really hard to do, by the way. I have to try and error a few times. Personally, I think I don't recommend it for people who are not very familiar with the mechanics of Honor Duel. Because Mauler right now is really not the strongest, and Lightbearer is very dominating, so you'll get countered a lot. Even though you get countered by Lightbearer, but Mauler's also really weak to Wilders and Graveborn in a sense, because a lot of the very powerful Graveborn and Wilders unit, they have control, as you guys saw just now, right? Danny can control, Arden can control, Cecilia can control, Carolina can control, so there's a lot of builds that actually counter the Seth build. So that's why I wanted to aim for CC immunity on Seth. But if you guys want to try it out, this is one way you can try it out, right? So your focus will be build a tank, build Seth, build Coco, and then build your units up with the respective items. Thank you very much for tuning in. Do remember to like and subscribe to see more Honor Duel videos in this channel, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys!